Here's a video I didn't think I'd ever make. Slack or Microsoft Teams, which one do I prefer, which one's more useful? And the reason I thought I'd never make it was because the winner so far is Microsoft Teams. Can't even look at the camera to say it. Slack is brilliant, free for with some usage restrictions on it. So easy to use, simple like messaging, setting up channels, easy to send GIFs, very expandable, absolutely brilliant messaging app. And we were using it very productively, and I've used it very productively in a few guises at a few different companies. However, we've just had a rollout of Microsoft Teams, and whilst I'm no kind of Microsoft lover, normally, I'm afraid on this one they win. You get the messaging as part of Microsoft Teams, and it's simple. It is ever so slightly more Microsoft-y rather than easy to use kind of Slack or other private smaller companies that set up will have. But the Teams brings with it so much more. Like, we're just tying up our projects into channels, we're getting the right users in there. I know this sounds like stuff you can do on Slack, but the Microsoft having it all in one space makes it so much an easier experience. Conversations are everywhere, the app mentioning, all the same kind of stuff, but because you've got one workspace, one dashboard with different tabs on and everything like that, you just find the Microsoft Teams experience much easier, and your work becomes much more efficient because you just go to Teams, you just click on that tab, you just go there, you just set up the right tabs. So weirdly enough, Microsoft Teams, if you're a Microsoft house, I work on a Mac, but the Teams app works really well for it, so I totally recommend it. The only thing I would say to improve for Microsoft Teams would be there are so many places to have the same conversation, like in a tab, in a conversation, in a something this or that. I would just say that Microsoft Teams would do better by having like maybe some policy or some suggestions to say, look, just keep it in the conversations tab, don't go off to too many tabs or it'll get confusing, like restrict it down a bit. But odd for me to say, Microsoft Teams actually wins out for an office communications tool, and we work remotely. We work over the US, Australia, the UK, and it's just, there's a whole different sense of presence that it brings. So yeah, Microsoft Teams or Slack. Microsoft Teams wins, but don't tell Bill, I don't want anyone knowing.